Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and my name is Stephanie Bree, transgender woman. I talk about stuff, former journalist, etc., etc., you know the drill. Also like, comment, subscribe, and be cool. Anyways, today we're talking about Truth or Dare. Now, what in the hell is Truth or Dare, and why is it on my brain? Well, Truth or Dare is a horror movie that came out, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago, in that ballpark. Based on a popular, I'm going to say, party game, question mark, which is really just it's a clever device middle school kids use to get people of the opposite sex, or the sex or gender that they're attracted to trick them into having PG sexual encounters or pseudo-sexual encounters, hugging, kissing, flashing, mooning, etc. It's a pretense for, getting people to do pseudo-sexually innuendos. It's like, hey, I dare you to moon everybody in the room, or I dare you to flash everybody in the room, or I dare you to kiss everybody in the room. It is like 75% of how Truth or Dare goes. Or it's, if you say truth, it's who do you have a crush on, or have you ever done X, Y, or Z, or blah, blah, blah. It's just a silly game teenagers use, as like I said, as a pretense to, comfortably and safely, with a pseudo amount of consent, explore their romantic and sexual feelings, while also being pressured into doing things they might not otherwise want to do, but in a somewhat safe environment. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the movie has nothing to do with what I'm talking about today. I just wanted to mention the movie because that's why it's on my mind. I watched the movie. I'm going to talk about it on my other channel where I talk about horror movies. But the game itself has no rules. The rules are basically whatever the people playing agree upon, usually in the moment whenever the game is mentioned. So, for example, some horny 13-year-old boy will be hanging out in mixed company, male, female, etc. And we're going to use these, the stereotypical cisgender, heterosexual norm just for the illustrations, but you get where I'm going with this. Just to keep the language simple, but, it applies to same-sex couples as well, but they're probably more... There's some stigma still around to that, so let's just assume you got a 13-year-old boy, he's horny, he's hanging around boys and girls, he thinks one or more of the girls are pretty, and he's like, hey, let's play Truth or Dare. He'll just throw it out there because he wants to see how long it'll take to get one of the girls to kiss him, which is usually how this game starts. And in my experience, it is almost always a horny male that recommends Truth or Dare. It doesn't usually get recommended by older teenagers, 17 and up, or college age and adults, except for maybe at like a frat party when everybody's like really wasted and it's 2 a.m. and people are just not ready to go home and sleep it off yet. That's my experience. So there are variations of this game, countless variations, but the standard is just Truth or Dare. And you get to pick one or the other. Sometimes they put stipulations on, like, if you don't do the dare or don't answer truthfully or answer at all, there's some sort of punishment. Punishments vary depending on the group and who suggested it. Usually it's some type of punishment that is like, hey, you either want to do the dare or you want to do this thing you don't want to do, which is worse or equal to the dare. It's, like I said, it's a pretense to try to peer pressure other kids into doing things they don't necessarily want to do, but they all agree to it because secretly they all want to do things too. They just want to, they just don't want to be the one to mention it. So the question is usually Truth or Dare. Now, when we played, we actually played I don't know if it's even a common variant or if it's just one that my circle of friends made up, because I've never played this version ever outside my circle of friends in this one specific occurrence. And it was Truth, Dare, Double Dare, Promise, or Repeat. That was the way we played it. That's a fucking mouthful. Now, Truth or Dare is simple. Truth means, hey, have you ever kissed Billy? And, the girl or boy or whatever will be like, yeah, he's a cute, good kisser. Or, ew, gross, who kisses Billy? Or it'll be like, I dare you to take a drumstick and throw it through throw it down the hallway as hard as you can, or something stupid like that. It's random. It's always pure random until it turns, like I said, pseudo-sexual, usually PG-13 innuendo-ish. Can get a little beyond that, but in my experience, it usually doesn't, because people are like, hey, whoa, come on, we gotta have limits, boundaries. But, things sometimes can go too far, and I've been in Truth or Dare games where things did go too far, and it destroyed friendships. I'll say that. But, then let's unpack the rest of it. Dare, like I said, they dare you to do something. Truth is you ask a question. Double Dare is the variant where it's like, hey, you have to do it, even though you have to do the dare. I don't understand the logic of have to do it, or Double Dare, but it's just kind of like a heightened dare. It's like, okay, you can weasel out of a dare, but we're going to tie you to a tree and beat you with a stick if you don't do the Double Dare kind of thing. It's like, hey, you have to do the Double Dare. Promise is idiotic. Usually people are like, they'll try to trick you into making a promise, like, promise me that you'll give me a hug in 5 seconds, or promise me that you'll be my best friend forever, or promise me that you'll never tell anybody my secret, and then they'll tell everybody the secret because kids are stupid. Repeat is just an idiotic, it was like, hey, repeat after me, and it's usually 90% of the time it's like, I'm stupid, or I'm gay, or blah, blah, blah. It's trying to get the other person to insult themselves. That's like almost always universally how repeat goes. Now, Truth or Dare is separate from the childhood dare system. And I'm not talking about DARE with periods, drug, whatever the fuck it was called, McGruff the dog. No, fuck that shit. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about, you've seen the movie. The little boy wants a BB gun for Christmas, and he can't get it because he'll shoot his eye out. A Christmas Story. You know what I'm talking about? There's that hierarchy of a kid wants another kid to do something. Either they're being malicious, or the other kid made a claim that everybody is like, you're full of shit, or whatever. And so they'll implement the dare system. This is unrelated to Truth or Dare, which is a semi-structured game of chaos. The dare system is basically, I dare you to walk up to, Coach Carter and kick him in the nuts. And then you'll be like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get detention. And then you'll be like, I double dare you to do it. And then you'd be like, you do it. And then it's like, I triple dare. And then there's just like, you go on and go on until they either say, fuck you, and then you get into a fist fight and you're rolling around on the ground, or you go kick Coach Carter in the nuts. Whatever the dare, double dare, triple dog dare, etc. may be. These are usually done in a less friendly, more antagonistic nature. Truth or Dare is usually playful, but there is almost always an ulterior undertone motivation. And again, it's usually trying to see how far we can push it. And I don't mean we, as in me and my friends. I just mean, kids. Those playing the game, it's always how far can we push it. Can we see if the girls will take off their bras? Can we see if the boys will moon everybody, or whatever, or nutchuck their best friend, or whatever. It's just stupid shit like that. But they always start off with, mildly innocent things like, well, I dare you to spit in this cup, or I dare you to throw a baseball at Jimmy, or, things like that, until they progressively escalate. Again, this is in my experiences. I don't know, your experiences may be different. I don't know. I grew up in Kansas, where we're bored as fuck. Because cow tipping isn't a real thing, and we were told that it was, and we couldn't do it, there was nothing fucking else to do but play Truth or Dare, because the NES only has 2-player games, and nobody wants to play Double Dragon forever, especially when you got a group of like 12 kids. So you gotta do shit. You gotta do something to pass the time. So we would play Truth or Dare. So I have 2 questions for you, the audience. Question number 1, did you ever play Truth or Dare? Question number 2, you lying sack of shit. Yes, you did. Now tell me, what was your worst dare?